Hello, it's Elaina Strongbow, and today I am here with my character Elsa. I'm about to go into one of the dungeons here. I'm doing a little series on her. She's my chest picking. She runs into dungeons, cracks open chests, gets the loot. Went through basically all of her setup, talked about her template, her skills, her aspect gear, equipment she uses, and whatnot. Now let's talk about how I set up the actual game to actually operate with her. So I'm right outside of New Sero. If you can see it right here on the big map over here. My house is actually right outside the dungeon, right outside of here. So I go here all the time. This is just before we run in there. So let's talk about Razer first, and let's kind of hit on that. So I'm going to go through a couple of them on here. Make sure we got this one, new corpse. Standard stuff, whether you want open corpses and stuff, you want to do that. I'm in the options here, over in the additional options. There's a section on counting stealth steps overhead. I do that so when I'm actually in stealth mode, I actually can see that number. I'm going to get into the dungeon here and hide. So I've got her hidden right here. In a second, it's telling me I get ready to be able to stealth. But that putting that overhead allows us to see that number and how many steps it can take. So here it is. You feel comfortable enough to begin. So 1. It tells you how many actually steps you have left there. Now the one that's on the left side here on the screen, that's what I use. The one above my character, it works like the first or second time and then it stops. When you get to 0, you got to wait for it to say, okay, you're ready to continue going. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can kind of work your way up there and do that. Come up to a chest. And here's one that's locked and trapped. It's a level 2 chest. And it's not that big of a deal on it. So, but in the Razer setup, you want to be able to see that. Don't want to have to worry about doors, so go ahead and turn on the auto open doors and whatnot. The only other thing, and I've been struggling to find out where it is, and if I find it, I'll put it in the comments, is I've enabled that where we can actually have it where you can highlight underneath your character there the status of the character. So when people run by, it'll be glowing underneath them, whether they're gray or they're red or they blue or they're green, if they're friends and guild and whatnot. That's the other one I put on here. Otherwise, inside of Razer, the only thing really tied to it, you go to macro to keys, hotkeys. So enabling setting the keys up so you can run these commands. So like for me to hide, I actually hold down. If I look back under skills, there's hiding, control space. So if I'm running, I actually hold it. Control is like my default modifier. I hold down control, hit the space key, I'm hiding. I hit control and then the numbers, different number keys I have on my Naga mouse. That's going to be, to cast a spell, whatnot. But control space is the main key. I may tie one to my control key to like my smoke bombs or to my rope as well to use those. So smoke bombs, if you're getting discovered and you want to, let me pop out of here. Yay. You want to find yourself and disappear really quickly, smoke bombs will help you disappear and put you into stealth mode. So tying that to a macro key, but that's it. In Razer, you really don't need to set up anything else. It's pretty much, that's pretty much it. The only other place is kind of the options inside of UO itself, or in this particular case, UO Outlands. So you need to kind of run through these and kind of go which ones of these make sense. Most of this comes down to either to macros or to information that's being displayed on here, cooldown timers and whatnot. But in the end, I think that the key thing is set up is that you put macros or key combinations onto the common steps that are on there. I have one that allows me to hide. It said control space. Otherwise, I'm running around. If I come up to a chest, if you double click the chest now, you don't even have to use the tools. That's why my tools are buried. If you see my other video, it's buried and hidden underneath this bag underneath here. I don't even have to see my tools. I just double click the chest and it's ready to go. Turn these on so it's continuous. Start with the trap. UO Outlands, I don't know why trap is second on the list and lock picking's first. It should actually be flipped. But once it's done, click on that. That's it. This is the only setup. These two setups on here. Let it go automatically. You get a chest out there. If you want to take a pile, you hold on your shift key. Shift key. If you don't do anything, try and drag. It'll ask you for how much. You want to do this fast. Hold on your shift key and just pull it over. Drop loot in your top bag. You can carry more weight up here. If you don't want something, you just leave it. If you want someone else to have, maybe put it out there. Move on to your next one. That's it. That's all the setup in here. There's really nothing else. You just got to get yourself used to be able to hide and whatnot. Now there are some. That's your pure basic generic kind of chest picking that's out there. There are some other things that I particularly find useful. I find actually having lined up, kind of my defensive stuff. If you I said you have magery on mine, so I set up reflect magic, reflect armor. How many times that saved me on damage? Damage being done. I came out of stealth mode for whatever reason. I get hit by a monster. That those two settings have saved me. So have them out and available to you. I run around with invisibility all the time. It's set up on a key as well. So I'll run as far as I can and invis out and then hide. And it literally works like this. Like I can go to invisibility here. I'm going to start running down, like say I'm going to go down further into the dungeon. Drop down here. Come down here. It's going to keep staying with it, and it will keep running. You'll know it's ran out. It has a timer. You'll know it's run out once the actual little cursor goes away. But I can come all the way up here, and let's say I decide I'm going to hide here, and then I'm going to go. And then I can go control space right into hidden mode. If you're magically invisible, that'll time out. If you do that, and then you go into your regular hiding mode, well, now the magic part's gone. You're in regular hidden mode, and you're getting ready to go into stealth mode. And now I can actually go into that mode and kind of click going and on my way. So that's it. It's pretty basic setup. I organize my bag, set it here. When I open up chests, the chests are open up here. I drag items into here, cash into here, and I'm up on my way. I keep this part open. There is an option in Razer or in here to hit the control for your scroll wheel. So I have it modified with my control key. If I hit the control key and scroll in and out, I can change my zoom level. So if I'm looking where I'm going, that helps out. This is kind of like a normal running mode, maybe like about here. But I'll sometimes go in really close if there's a lot of monsters. I'm trying to do one steps through things. And you got to see in details, especially with these glowing discs, I can see their bottoms. Let's do this. Pop up here. I'll show you where this goes. There should be some, if there's some dragons up here. Nope, they killed them all. Sometimes there's one here. I don't have the right key. I don't have the right key. I don't have the right key. I don't have this is my new mouse. I don't have my invis set up. There it is. Okay. I didn't have my invis key set up to my macro. Have your invis key on there. Anyways, so that one popped up and popped on me there. It happens on there. Where I got hit for damage, I was protected by the 2 spells. So they actually took a bunch of the damages on there. So I'm gonna let these guys go in front of me, and then I can pop back up there. So, but if you get to like a group, like see how the bottoms I have on, I can see their base spot where they touch on the ground. So if I have to navigate through a bunch, I can zoom in as close as possible and kind of navigate and then zoom back out. So I do that a lot in the dungeons, depending where I'm at. Just trying to make sure you're hitting the right spot. You don't want to walk on someone. Oh, there's that. Oh, there's a footsteps right here. There's a dragon. That's probably the one that hit me there. So I'm gonna run. What's this? Get my spell on. And I'm gonna come back down here to these guys who are here. So see how their base things are white? So once I get into that zoom mode, that's where I can actually identify, make sure I can walk around them without tripping over them, hitting the kind of the touch spot where you'd be revealed. So anyways, I think that's about it. I mean, it's all about navigating. It's about getting access to to spells and things you want to use more often. Set them up in macros. I set up kind of casting spells around here. These are my normal kind of poison, kind of fireball, low level stuff. This is my kind of mid to upper level kind of attack spells. A stone wall. These are all kind of my own setup, for myself, curing, healing, whatnot. Even rezzing on there. These are kind of protective stuff that's on there. My Earth Ellie, if I want to run with one, I'll put that up there sometime. And that's it. I actually have my effects bar that's up there. I basically keep everything right around the edges so I can see what's going on. I don't like things on my screen. I like them all around the edges. So I have a very big screen as far as a resolution. But then I make some of the pictures, like I scale the size of the bags and stuff upward so I can see it, be visible with it. So I can be tiny, I can be larger, it's kind of just depends on where I'm at in the picking thing. Otherwise, it said you'll learn that as you learn a dungeon. As you learn a dungeon style, you'll learn what works for you. You learn what things you want to have right there at your hand. Like right now, I got to have getting that invis back on one of my macro keys on there definitely would help out. Definitely to be able to save out there really quick. But that's about it. So it's personal preferences. This is just my take on it. Whatever you think, what works for you, that's up to you. But I said, I hope you get, some information, some of the options that are available. I think out of everything I talked about in here, the two things I rely upon day in and day out is the control space or macroing the hide, your hide key so you get into stealth mode, and the coloring little things at the bottom of our feet. Being able to see that and know where the touch boxes are. Otherwise, run in the dungeon, learn your dungeons, crack open those chests, get that loot, fat loot sometimes. Sometimes you're going to die often, than not. That's just part of the game, but have fun with it. It's kind of fun talking about Elsa. She said she's not Elaina. She's like I said, she literally is a character I play more often than not inside of UO Outlands. I just like soloing. So I said if you see her around, just say hi to her. I said she's it's just me having fun out there, being kind of solo mode on there. You got questions or comments, leave them at the bottom of the video. If you're liking the content, please just give a thumbs up, subscribe to it. Lets me know that the content's being appreciated. I said, take care of yourself out there. Hey, questions, just hit me up. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Bye.